Good morning. Spring has arrived, but I'll be honest, we are a little bit lukewarm on spring and cherry blossoms in general. I think it's because we haven't really got out and experienced them all that much in Japan. This time last year, we were moving from Tokyo out to the countryside, so we were really busy with that. But this spring, we've got the time, we've got the van, we want to get out and see cherry blossoms and spring in Japan at its peak. And honestly, we started off pretty strong here. We drove into a nondescript rest stop last night and we woke up this morning to beautiful cherry blossoms all around us. I love how fluffy they are, how they look in this morning sun, and honestly it makes me really excited to go and see some more. I do have pretty bad hay fever this time of year, which is a contributor to not liking spring all that much, but I've got all the antihistamines in me and I'm ready to go see it all. We arrived at the start of the temple and I'm already feeling very satisfied with how many beautiful cherry blossoms there are, but look.
That's a bit too many stairs for my liking, to be completely honest.
Oh, as you get closer and look down, it just keeps going.
Oh dear. I actually don't think I'm wearing the right shoes for this.
It looks like a stairway to heaven, I guess. How many stairs did you think that it was gonna be?
Honestly, I couldn't have even guessed. It's just a wall of stairs. It's uncountable.
I thought it was gonna be like 1,000 or something. Stupidly. Well, it says how many? 287.
287, yeah.
That doesn't seem so bad.
It doesn't seem so bad. Well, then again, 287 stairs that's a lot of stairs.
Are you prepared to tackle it?
Yeah, I mean, I want to see what's on the other side. Like, you can't see from here what's up there. It's a mystery.
I think it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you actually don't get that feeling from below and afar, but when you're on these stairs, each step feels so tall, so deep. Like, it's like going from my foot to my knee almost, like every step. But this place, honestly, from what we've seen, feels like hidden gem territory, wouldn't you think, Aim?
I would say so.
By the way, for anyone with bad knees or anything like that, there is a gradual slope path which snakes all the way around. So it's very accessible to anyone, no matter the age or physical capabilities. My goodness, this place is actually unreal. Like, look at this beautiful pond and like this weeping sakura tree here and like these incredible buildings. Now, I'm not gonna lie, you're gonna see in the background, there's a lot of people, right? I just said before, maybe it gets hidden gem status. Maybe it's not so hidden. Maybe a place like this deserves an early wake up and to beat the crowds. What do you think?
I think, yes, it's like 8 a.m. about now. And, well, it's a weekend, you know, and Japanese people are all out traveling on the weekend and it's a beautiful day. Like, I understand. Look how beautiful it is.
It's unreal. What a cute little walkway. So, we have spotted that there's a ropeway which can take you to the top of the mountain. By the way, this is one of Japan's top 3 sacred mountains, right?
For Japanese Buddhism specifically, yeah.
Pretty incredible. So I thought, let's go check it out. So we're gonna go to the top and see what we can see.
You thought we were gonna check it out. I said, let's go to the ropeway. And then Roy said, what can you see? And I said, Mount Fuji. And he goes, and? I was like, excuse me, Mount Fuji should be enough.
All right, that's the truth. But I'm happy to go see what's at the top. Wow, you maybe can't see it, But next to Amy here is Mount Fuji. That's incredible. You can just see a little bit, like you can kind of just see.
I'll hold it.
Yeah, not quite, but yeah, no, it's okay. But it's pretty incredible. You can kind of see like the scale, like how close we are. But my God, the views are also quite spectacular of the river. And we just got up so high into the mountains so quickly thanks to the ropeway. Truly incredible. And I think there's some little snackies up here, so I think it might be a good opportunity. Because like, you know, when you're here and they're like serving up snacks, you got to try them, right?
Yeah.
It's the local specialty.
Even if it wasn't, I'd try it. Good morning. It is a couple days later. It is a weekday today. As you can see, Roy is here behind me working away. We've just started work, but we did go this morning to try and get some beautiful views of Fuji with the cherry blossoms, and alas, it didn't work because Fuji was hiding. So we're hoping that we can go back to that spot a little later and get some Fuji views. But for now, we have parked up in a really beautiful park with so many cherry blossoms, and we're going to stay here and do work for today. We actually came to this park yesterday afternoon. We drove into the city and we didn't even realize that this was here. We just drove up here and it was right on sunset time and it was so beautiful. But yes, we've got to get stuck into work for today, although I can't think of a better place to sit and do work than when you're looking at the cherry blossoms, and we'll check back in a little later.
So yeah, we've hopped out of the van for our lunch break and we've got a little picnic spot and we're sitting underneath the cherry blossoms, and the cherry blossoms are falling on us and it's just so peaceful. It's so nice. I love watching people and just sitting here on our picnic rug looking around at all the cute families and the people enjoying the day. It's incredible. It's incredible how many people are out during work hours. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know that we're pretty fortunate to have jobs that allow us to do this, but what's everyone else doing? Like, I find that really interesting. And even more surprisingly, even though it's a work day, there's like some food stalls and food trucks going down at this place. I guess it's just really popular. Anyway, Amy got some potato because she loves potato chips. Oh my goodness. That's one for Roy.
So it is now the late afternoon and over this way, look who's kind of there a little bit. Roy's not with me, I'm by myself because he had a work meeting that he had to do. So that's where he is. If you didn't know, he works for a company based in Tokyo as a software engineer. So, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, and I'm out here by myself just trying to see if I can get a nice shot of Fuji. But you can see the cherry blossoms there, and then Fuji in the background. I don't know if he's going to completely come out today, but I'm happy with what we've got. Just welcome back to the van now, and I will get Roy and we will get on the road. But I forgot to mention at all in this video so far what time of year it is. At the moment it is the start of the second week of April. Actually, it's a little bit late blooming because there was a week of quite cold weather last week. But they have finally come out and it's beautiful. So, as I said, I'm going to go pick up Roy and then we're going to head home, and hopefully we can do this again in a higher altitude or elevation area next weekend. welcome to a new day and more cherry blossoms. It's a few days later now. It is April the 12th and we are at probably, I'm gonna call it now already, the best cherry blossom spot that we've been to so far. As you can see, it is quite a bit more crowded and lively around me than all the other spots that we've been to, and that's because we have come to Niigata Prefecture and Joetsu City specifically, and we are in the Takada Castle ruins. And the reason why it is so busy, even though it's the countryside, is this is in Japan one of the top 3 sakura illumination spots in the whole country. So of course there is so many people, and we're here, I think it's around 5:30 p.m. now. We came a little bit earlier, we saw a little bit of the cherry blossoms in the daytime, and now it's supposed to get into a beautiful light up. But we're going to eat some food, some festival food before then.
So we've spent our fair share of time lining up in the food lines, and we've gotten ourselves 3 things at the moment. We've got shorompo, which is kind of like soup-filled dumplings. We got some Jamaican chicken. I don't know why, it just looked and smelled really good. Not very Japanese. But then we also got a good staple here, which is jagabata, which is basically just like salt and butter put in potato, and it's just absolutely oozing with butter right now, and I'm so excited to eat it. I think there's a few other items we want to try in a little bit, but for now, let's tuck in. Hoppoyaki. Okay. I could eat a lot of these. Sweet and good.
Honestly, this was one of the most happening festivals we've been to. There were food stalls everywhere, a beautiful castle with a full moon. Then, on one side of the grounds, an omikoshi or portable shrine was being paraded through the street. While on the other, a Hatsune Miku live concert was taking place. And I tell you, the energy was so good at this random concert, I wish that I'd had my own glowy stick so I could join in. But yes, honestly, just the best vibes all around. There were a lot of people, but there were also quieter areas that you could retreat to as well. The next couple of days after the festival were pretty wet and miserable, so we returned home. After almost a year living in our place in the countryside, the living areas are coming together a bit better now, and we've set it up so we can play co-op games, one of our favorite things to do at the moment. In the study, we now also have standing desks, which have been such a nice addition to the work from home setup.
In our YouTube videos, we often cover traveling around Japan, hiking in Japan and whatnot, and we don't really cover our everyday lives and what we do for work in Japan. So we do get some comments and messages sometimes from people asking, what do you do in Japan? How are you able to live there? Which, to be honest, is really quite fair. So I thought I would just give a little bit of context to that. So we both work for Japan-based companies. Roy is on a highly skilled professional visa and I'm on a working visa. And that is our 9 to 5 from Monday to Friday. And then we just make YouTube videos mainly on the weekends, really, and in our spare time. So also a little bit more about my job, because I actually did change jobs in the last few months, and it's not something that I've actually talked about on our YouTube videos. So some of you might know that previously I was working for a company called Tokyo Cheapo. And basically it's a website, it's a YouTube channel, it's social media channels that cover information for traveling in Japan and for people who live in Japan as well. And honestly, I loved working there, and I really loved the team that I was working with, and it was my first job in a videography role in my whole life. So it was really, really great. It was a great place to start. But last year I did see another company in the same industry called Japan Guide put out an advertisement for a job for a videographer. And I guess spoiler alert, that's where I'm working now. But essentially what happened was I saw this job advertisement, and at first I kind of was like, oh, okay. But then I went back to it and was like, oh, like it kind of piqued my interest because Japan Guide covers all of Japan, where Tokyo Cheapo, I was mostly covering Tokyo there. And it also often covers places that are a little bit more off the beaten track, which if you watch our videos, you would know that I really, really love covering and filming in places like that. So I did apply to that job, and then after having an interview and meeting the team, what ended up being the reason why I chose to move to Japan Guide was that I was joining a team of really experienced videographers, which is not something that I had at Tokyo Cheapo. I was, mainly the only videographer there. And I just felt like this is such a fantastic opportunity because I can really have people to learn from, people who are more experienced than me. I can really develop the craft of videography and get better. So I ended up deciding, to move to Japan Guide, and that's where I've been working from now. But honestly, at both of those companies, Tokyo Cheapo and Japan Guide, the working conditions and the teams are amazing. It's flex time, it's mostly working from home, which honestly is, fairly rare in Japan. I really, really appreciate the working conditions that I've had at both of these companies. And it allows me and Roy to live in the countryside, so that is a plus. But at Japan Guide, my role is a videographer. So unlike Tokyo Cheapo, where I was behind the camera and in front of the camera presenting, pretty much at Japan Guide, I'll almost always be behind the camera. So we have already put out a video on the Japan Guide YouTube channel from Karuizawa where I was presenting, but for the most part, I will be behind the camera. You'll see my work, but not my face. So similar to, we put out a video recently from Hiroshima, and I did all the filming and editing for that, but our wonderful host, Reina, was the presenter. So I guess that is an update on my life and my job. Good morning from a bright and early and sunny Azumino, which is right next to the Japanese Alps. It is our final spot because here next to the Alps is where it blooms the latest. And I've got Roy next to me. We are just having a nice walk this morning. You can see some cherry blossoms. Hopefully we'll be able to see some mountains soon, and particularly one mountain called Jonendake. Do you want to tell everyone your special?
It's my arch nemesis. We went hiking on it last year and I nearly died.
It was actually 2 years ago now.
Oh my God,
But still,
really?
every time we come here, and we see Jonendake in the distance, we're like, oh, Roy's arch nemesis, his enemy. So after we went to that beautiful spot this morning, we parked up in this park. Look at it. It's got so many cherry blossoms everywhere, particularly over there. And we have just been doing work for today, but we're now going over to have a picnic for lunch, and we need to wrap things up. What is our opinion on cherry blossoms and this season, right?
I would say my opinion on cherry blossoms is that it's more worth it to actually experience it by doing a proper hanami, which is basically sit down in the park, do a picnic, and it really just feels like a sense of community, and you get to see all the families doing the cute things. I think that is a far more impactful experience than just coming and snapping photos.
That was a nice answer. I really enjoyed this season because we've done it properly this time. But at the same time, honestly, it was really hard to plan. I was constantly looking up the different spots and looking at recent images on Google Maps and seeing are these spots in full bloom yet, and when do the nice weather days match up? Because honestly, there's only a few days in each place where both of those conditions are met. It was kind of hard, and we live here. So I guess if you're coming for a cherry blossom holiday, I would say either maybe don't plan your holiday around definitely seeing beautiful cherry blossom spots, because it's quite hard to plan. Or if you do want to do that, if you have high expectations for seeing beautiful cherry blossoms, then maybe try and plan a holiday that's a bit more flexible. For example, hiring a camper van and traveling around, or maybe just traveling to places where you can book accommodation more flexibly. Now, as I said, we're going to have a lunch, and we are also going to film a video for our Patreon, having a picnic under the cherry blossoms. And thank you so much. We've had like a few people recently join the Patreon. So thank you so much to the new and old patrons. Thank you for supporting us, and we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Bye.